Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. I'm sure we've all experienced being rejected at some point. Getting rejected is very hard in general. But how can we deal with that? Rejection is emotionally painful, especially when it comes for people that are close to you, like your family, your friends, and even the person that you love. And when you have not experienced this, you never know how it feels like. Whatever people say, rejection hurts at the bottom line. It doesn't matter which point at a relationship you say it. At the bottom line, it doesn't matter what point of relationship you are in. Whether you come with a story that says, I'm so sorry, it's not you, it's just me, I'm going through something. At the end of the day, rejection is rejection. And it's something that you don't want to hear. How do you handle rejection when you're a grade 5 child and nobody wants to play with you? You don't have even one single friend. Or maybe you're in high school and you're surrounded with all these haters just because you're an A student. Or maybe you've been engaged to this guy you've been dating for 3 years or more. Just a week before your marriage, he sends you a text message that says, I can't carry on with this whole thing. How do you deal with that situation? To make it worse, he comes to collect the ring. 2 months or 3 months down the line, he's engaged to somebody else with that ring that he gave to you. How do you handle that? Not that this is a good idea, but at least he gave you a chance to tell your guests that the wedding is over. God was able to show you what type of man you're about to marry. Regardless whether it's big or small, rejection makes you feel devalued at the end of the day. Look at Leah in Genesis 29 verse 17. It was understood that she was rejected by everyone around her. She married somebody that never valued her. Even though she was an oldest daughter, her father made her sleep with a man that didn't love her, by making her sleep with someone that was in love with her younger sister Rachel. Her father made her take Rachel's place in their marriage bed. And when Jacob woke up, he realized that he was misled and fooled by his father-in-law. And that got him angry. He declared in front of all her friends and family that he didn't love her. He was in love with Rachel, her younger sister. Can you imagine how embarrassing that can be, being rejected in front of everyone? I'm sure Rachel became a topic in that town. When that happens to you, you find yourself going through stages of denial. This is the stage where you're in denial and you begin to digest the whole thing and you ask yourself, what just happened? The wounds of rejection ran deep for Leah, just like they would run deep for you. Can you imagine how she felt? She must have been asking herself, why would her own father, let her do this? Maybe those days she wasn't even allowed to question her father. She wasn't even allowed to tell her father, this is wrong. This, what you want me to do, it's wrong. Maybe she couldn't even say that. Or maybe she was also in love with Jacob. We don't know. The Bible doesn't tell us that. But in today's world, you would tell your father, I'm not doing this because this is wrong. But some parents, they have their own selfish reasons. I believe Laban had his own selfish reasons as well. He felt maybe nobody's asking her for a hand in marriage, and this was the only way to save her all the embarrassment. But what about Rachel? Couldn't you find some man to marry Leah, then choosing somebody that is in love with her sister? We don't know what was his reasons. Her weapon was to take all that to God. She knew that she was rejected. She knew that she was not loved. And her weapon was to take it up to God. And God blessed her with children, which Rachel did not have. In today's world, when your parents want you to sin, you have the right to tell them no. Rejection runs deep for us as well, especially if you're being rejected by somebody you love. And you know it, but you're in denial. You think to yourself, maybe they'll come back to their senses. And you think to yourself, maybe it's something that I did. They must have been thinking about it. When that person leaves you a week before your marriage, he must have thought about it. When you are applying for a job and you are told no, when you know that you qualified for that job, you feel like you're not good enough and you feel like maybe it's a mistake. And that rejection gets to an anger stage. Because when it comes to rejection, it comes in stages. Stage 1 is when you're in denial. And stage 2 is when you become angry. Now you're angry that how can this person do this to me? After we've been together for so many years. How can I not get this job when I clearly qualify for it? When a person you love has rejected you, don't go crazy on them. Don't start stalking them on their social media page, trying to find out what are they doing, or to check maybe there's somebody else that they're dating, driving yourself crazy. As human beings, we always go to social media platform for survival. But if that is going to make you crazy and start leaving silly comments, then you need to stop that. You need to walk out with dignity. Don't make him justify why he left you because of your craziness. Do yourself a favor. Give yourself time to heal in the process. Then keep checking up on him on social media. You have a right to become angry. A slight tantrum, it's okay. If you feel like you want to cry, that's okay as well. Pick yourself up and move on. Don't find yourself entering the next stage, which is depression. Some people cannot handle rejection and they end up being depressed. This is when you need to ask yourself, is it really worth it? You are getting depressed here. You are so depressed that you don't want to do anything. And this other person is carrying on with their lives. There's a time to cry if you feel like crying, but you need to get yourself out of that. Find a way of getting yourself out of that. Otherwise, you're allowing that and you're inviting the devil to bring in other little demons. Little demons like suicide thoughts. So you need to prevent opening those little demonic doors and accept the situation. This is when you come into that next stage of accepting the situation that you're in that moment. Once you accept that situation, you are on the way towards recovery. After all that healing process, you need to throw in that towel and start living life. The life that God wants you to live. Not the life that was dependent on somebody else. Don't get into a relationship when you're still in a healing process. Until you see that you've healed enough, then you can start thinking about getting into another relationship. Because once you enter in another relationship and you haven't healed, you'll be hurting the next person and hurting yourself in the process as well. Don't enter into a new relationship when you haven't healed from your previous relationship. Maybe God will start bringing the person that He initially wanted for your life. When He sees that now you're totally healed and now you're ready to take up on a new relationship. Although rejection leaves us with scars, which stays with us forever, that affects our way of thinking in the future. But there's a way of getting out from healing from those scars. By involving God, God will change and heal any situation. If you are carrying those scars of rejection with you, it affects your decisions in your future. You'll find yourself not trusting anyone that comes your way. Even if it was a good person that comes your way, you find yourself not giving yourself fully with that person because you don't trust anyone. You think everyone would behave like your previous relationship. Not everyone is the same. That is why you need to give yourself time to heal so that you don't project everyone thinking that they're all the same. This happens when you are rejected so many times. People will always hurt us because we're human beings. Somebody will hurt you and you will hurt somebody else tomorrow. But one thing, we're blessed with the ability to know who you are, what you contribute and what life you want to live. Remember, you can make those decisions or either have fear of being rejected. You need to tell yourself it's their loss anyway. They will never get to know what they miss out by letting you go. No situation is the same. Don't let your past affect your future. Take it up to God. Allow Him to step in those wounded parts in your heart. God says He will never forget us. That is His promise. He will stand with us even when somebody else rejects you. Or maybe the society rejects you. Or maybe even your family rejects you. God will always be there with you. You just need to trust Him. Trust Him fully. And when you feel rejected, spend time with God. Thank you for watching. If this is content that you like, please don't forget to like and subscribe and see you in the next video. God bless you.